Hi everyone, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming. Happy Monday to everyone. I hope that you are having a wonderful day. And for everyone that I met during the spring craftathon on Saturday, I hope that you enjoyed the ideas that I showed and that you've taken a second to like and follow DiyDreaming so you don't miss out on anything in the future. So I have some great projects to show you today. I'm super excited about them. And there are two signs. One of them, I'm going to show you how you can use a stencil and some chalk art to stencil on the top of the glass so that it's completely changeable. On the other one, we're going to also use a stencil and some chalk art, but I have a really fun tip about how you can glue some magnets, those little button magnets, to the corner of your sign, and then you can swap out the decorations all year long. So I don't know how this idea came to me, but I think you're going to really like it. So as you're hopping on, say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. Let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to sprinkle this to your social media if you like this project. And let's just get started. Let me move in just a little bit closer. Okay, so the first project that we're going to do is this one. And I told you yesterday that I purchased this little picture frame at my Goodwill last week. It was 99 cents. It had some funny writing around the edges of it, so I painted that with my favorite color paint. Does anyone know what color that is? Hey, Catherine. Hey, Michelle. Hey, Cindy. She says she cleaned her car. She desperately needed it. Oh my gosh, mine does too. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Judy. Oh my gosh, Kathy's in Australia. Yay! We're starting to get all over the world, and I love that. I hope you're having a wonderful day in Australia, Kathy. And Judy's watching from North Carolina, and I'm in the suburbs of Atlanta, Georgia, in case anyone's wondering. So I told you that I bought this and I painted it, and then I took one of those little burlap flowers that we made and I hot glued that in the corner. But what I'm going to show you now is how you can stencil on the glass and set it on your shelf, and then when you get sick of that, you can just wipe it off with a wet paper towel and do something different. So let's see. Can you see that? I think you can. Okay, we're going to use one of these little stencils that I love so much that came from the Pray More, Stress Less stencil set that a Maker Studio offers, and when I'm all finished, I'll drop a link to that in the comments. It's got some great Bible verses and great little Christian quotes, and I'm all about that. When you can fill your home with God's Word, just a little touch here and there, I think that is great. And this is a good reminder that we need to pray more and stress less. And I'm preaching to the choir because I need to do that myself. So I'm going to just take this off of the little backing. Oh, and I did want to tell you a trick. So when you first get your stencils, you're going to cut them apart. And then you want to label the back of each one. It's important for two things. First of all, after you wash your stencil and it's dry, you need to know which one to put it back on. Also, this side of the backing is not good for your stencil. It's important that you put it back on this side that's slick so it's easily removable. So there you go. There's my little tip. Okay. Well, that's crooked. So I'm basically just going to eyeball this because I never measure. And shoot, I forgot to get a bucket of water. Dang it. That means I'm going to do my big stencil very last because we'll do the other things, because when you use a stencil, you want to wash it out pretty quick. I may actually hop into the bathroom right next door and throw this in the sink while I'm live with you. Okay, so I just applied the stencil to the glass, okay? And what you're seeing behind here is just the other side of the stand, okay? And these stencils are so great to use. They're adhesive, they're reusable like 20, 30, even 35, 40 times if you take care of them. Oh, Felicia says, amen. Catherine says, it's like a daily reminder. Yes, it is. And Susan's from North Dakota, and she sprinkled. Yay! Thank you, Susan. I really appreciate that. I don't fully understand why that matters to Facebook, but for some important reason it does. So the other thing that's important is that you take a second to check and make sure that you've liked and followed DIY Dreaming so you don't miss any of my future projects, and I have some really good ones coming up. Okay, so I'll quit talking. So I just put that on the glass, pushed it down, and today I'm gonna use a product that I don't use very often, and I don't know why I don't. I just forget that it exists. It's chalk art. It's also from a maker studio. This is a great color. It's called Peace and Joy. It's just a great white. And the thing I like about this is that it's not permanent. So if I put this on a chalkboard or on a piece of glass and I'm ready to change it, I can just use a wet paper towel and wipe it right off. So it's great. Okay, so I'm just gonna open it up and take my little spreader, which looks pretty cruddy because I've used it a lot. And I'm gonna get a glob of the white chalk art called Peace and Joy. And this is so not hard. I'm seriously just pushing it through the holes in my stencil. And that is, it's pretty darn simple. Just want to make sure I get all the letters covered. Darn, I don't have any paper towels out. Let me find one. Here we go. And here's some paper plates. Okay, sorry about that. I got so excited to show you this project, I forgot to do any of the basic stuff. Okay, so I'm going to put the leftover chalk art back in my little pot and close it up. You want to, if you're using a product like this, a chalk art product, you want to keep it closed so it doesn't dry out, okay? Do I make the stencils too? No, I didn't make these ones. These are the stencils from a maker studio. I do make some of my own using this gadget I have called an Icon Art Custom Stencil Maker, and I will introduce y'all to that some point this week. I'll show you that because it's really fun, and I'll show you some of the stencils that I've made and some of the projects that I've done. But today we're doing just your basic stencil from Maker Studio. So I'm going to pull that off, and it looks really cute. And this is what you have. Let me tilt it to see if I can get it so that it doesn't have a terrible glare on it. So this is what it's going to look like sitting on my shelf. Or sitting in here. I'll probably set it in here in my office. I'll put it right there for right now. Okay, the next project. You know what? Hang on 2 seconds and I'm going to go throw this stencil in the sink. I'm sorry. I'll be right back, I promise. Easy. Oh, and you guys are still giving me hearts. I appreciate that. I would love to see how you make stencils sometime. Yes, I'll definitely show you. It's a super cool process, and it's not very difficult, although it seems like it would be. Okay, so the next project we're going to do is I'm going to show you the carrot banner up close that I made last week. And then we're going to make a sign to sit on my mantle right next to this carrot banner for Easter. And I'm going to show you a little trick so that you could make a sign and trade it out with different decorations for the whole year long. And we're going to use a stencil that says, "Bless the Lord, oh my soul." This is the stencil that we used also at the Spring Craftathon when we made these. That was one. And this was the other. It's a great stencil. And what I like about it is that it's not seasonal, but it could go every season. So for Easter especially, bless the Lord, oh my soul, That's such a great time of the year to have a quote up there that says that. But then for summer, it'll be great. So I probably, if I was going to keep this on my mantle, I wouldn't change the wording out. Although I am going to do it again in this chalk art, so it is not permanent. I would just change the decorations. Okay, so Heidi, quit talking. This was the cute little carrot banner. It's 3D. Can you see that? That I made last week. If you didn't see this, and you guys, we used the strings from our orange burlap to tie it together and to hang it up. So I'm wanting to make a sign that has some little embellishments that have the same orange and white and burlap, okay? And once I have it finished, I will take pictures of my mantle and I'll put that in the comments, and I'll also do a post on it. Okay, I'll show the sign again. Okay, so this is what the stencil looks like, and I'll drop a link in the comments, and I would be glad to personal message any of you guys a link to this stencil also, because it's such a great one. It's a great size, and you just can't go wrong with this one. Okay, so this is what we're going to be working on. I bought this last week, or maybe it was over the weekend. I'm trying to remember. I usually go to Goodwill once or twice a week. In fact, I just went this morning and I got some good stuff. So I'll be showing that to you either tonight or tomorrow morning. Okay, so I got this for, I think it was $2.99 or $3.99. It's just a nice chalkboard, and it has a great color frame around it. And it was in pretty good shape, so all I had to do was just clean it up a little bit. Okay, you might be wondering, what are these? Well, these are some magnets that we're going to glue onto this corner of this board so that we can swap out different embellishments that will just clip on there like a magnet, and that you can change. Let's see, I have a bunch of them over here. I did learn something while I was working on this project, and that is that there's a positive and a negative side to the magnets. So if you have specific little doodads you want to put on there, you need to make sure that the bottom side of the magnet on your little doodad will stick to the magnet that you glue on your board. Who knew it would be so complicated? Let's see, I need to go to Goodwill. You went to Goodwill this morning too. Did you get anything, Teresa? You know, I find that, okay, I got there about 12:30, and there wasn't as great of stuff as I would normally find. Although I did find another rolling pin, and I did find a big thing of music that I'm going to show you. I was excited. But I have found that if you go to your Goodwill, and probably other thrift stores too, like around 10 a.m., they've been busy all morning putting things out, and not very many shoppers have been in, and you'll have a better selection. So, hey Terry, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you or seen you around in a while. Okay, so we're gonna glue another button right here. So we have 3 in the corner. But before we get to that, you guys know that the fabric on that carrot banner looks like this. So we're going to quickly assemble another little layered flower that we can put in the center. And when we glue on the button, we're going to make sure that we get the right end of it, that it will attach to the one that I already have glued in the corner. The button magnets look like this. You can find them everywhere. They even have these at Dollar Tree, but I did notice that they were smaller, and I have found that these bigger button magnets seem to work better. So you can find these at any craft store, at Target, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, all over the place. Do be careful with these though, that you don't have them low where a child could get them, because they're super dangerous if a little one decides to swallow them. Okay. So this is what the carrot banner looks like. So we're going to start with this as our base for the flower that we're going to create really quick, okay? Super quick. because you guys have been seeing me do flowers for 3 days in a row, and I'm thinking that you must be getting a little tired of that. So we're gonna just do flowers on this, and then we're gonna move away from flowers for a little while. Okay, so I'm gonna use this little piece of Dollar Tree cookie tin to put in the center of my piece of orange fabric, and that just gives it some stability, and I'll glue the button magnet on right there. And I've already picked out my different layers of what I'm going to use. I'm planning to use a piece of burlap next that I cut sort of in a shape of a flower petal. And then I'm going to use a piece of drop cloth that's also cut like that. And you guys, when you're doing this kind of thing, you can use whatever you have. If you have drop cloth, I don't know, has anybody that's watching this worked with drop cloth before? Because it's awesome. And last year I did a ton of crafts. I did placemats, table runners, all kinds of cute things with drop cloth. And then I don't know if you guys saw, about 2 weeks ago, one of the DIY Dreamer followers named Joan, she did the cutest wrapped carrots with drop cloth, and she sent me all the information, and I put it on DIY Dreaming. So if you haven't seen that yet, definitely go look. Okay, so I just cut this roughly in the shape of a petal, and I'm just gonna plunk it on here. This is what we have so far, with lots of glue strings. Oh my goodness, I get sick of glue strings. Do you guys? Okay, and then I'm gonna do a piece of this orange burlap, and I need some more glue. Hey, do you guys know this trick? That when you're starting your new glue stick, if you put glue on the end of it and then stick it in, it'll stick to the glue that's already in there, and it'll be easier to get it going. You probably know that if you've crafted for any length of time. Okay, and this is what we have now. And then I'm going to add another piece of Dollar Tree cookie sheet tin that I punched out using this punch from Hobby Lobby. It's a 3-inch punch. I've had a ton of questions about this. This is what it looks like. It was about $24 or $25, something like that. And when I bought it, it was 40% off. So it was, I don't know, $16 or something. I have used it like crazy. This is another one that I've used a ton, also from Hobby Lobby. It was also on sale. So if you're looking for a punch, go check them out there. And this is such a great shape that you'll be able to use all year long. So I just cut some tin from a Dollar Tree cookie sheet using that bigger punch, and I'm going to glue it on here in the center. And then on this one, I bent the edges up. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Can you guys see how I just bent them? Okay, and then I'm gonna put a book page that I punched out with the smaller punch that I just showed you. And then I'm gonna add a teeny little piece of the orange fabric again. And a button that's a vintage one that's made out of bone. Let's see. Leanne says, I just learned the glue trick and had been crafting for years. Me too. I learned it probably 6 months ago. One of the people on DIY Dreaming told me that. I learned so much from you guys. Let's see. Diane says, great tip on putting the glue on the end of the stick. Oh, she says, I have so many tips. You're so sweet. And Susan said she got some of those large punches. Yay, I bet you'll love them. I love mine. I've never really been a punch person until I started working with those Dollar Tree cookie tins, and then I've wanted to punch everything. Okay, so this is what we have. Pretty cute, huh? And I'm just going to glue a magnet on the back of it. But before I do that, it's going to go right here. So I need to glue the side. See, it'll attach like that, but if I turn it over, oh, well, this one wants to attach no matter what. I don't know. They're finicky. So I'm going to put the glue on this side. And then I'll know that it will for sure stick. to this. Look how cute that is. Isn't it darling? And then we're going to stencil here with that Bless the Lord, Oh My Soul stencil and some white chalk art. But before we do that, we're going to add 2 more little embellishments. And one thing I wanted to show you really quick is that you can combine 2 colors of your burlap cloth, or burlap ribbon, the 6-inch ribbon, and make a multicolored little flower. So I made this one earlier, and I glued my button on the back of it already, my magnet button. I don't have any more of the brown burlap with the strings pulled out and ready to go, but let me just tell you real quick how I did it. So I took my orange that had the strings pulled out and all ready to go, and I glued the 2 sides together, and then I just took the brown burlap and I pulled it over the top and I glued it on. And it was not as long as the full strand, so I put it at the very beginning so it would be in the center, and then I just rolled them all up together like I showed you yesterday and the day before how to do that. So anyways, I think it turned out super cute. Let's see, is it gonna stick? No, it doesn't like the magnet that I have there right now. So we'll glue a different magnet on the other side, and we'll make sure we put it on the way that's gonna stick. Gosh, it's not really liking, well, okay, it likes the magnet that way, okay? So to make sure that I don't mess it up, I'm just gonna put some glue on it right here and stick it on right now. Isn't that cute? And then I thought we would either do just another orange or maybe a brown. What do you guys think? Should I do an orange or a brown burlap flower there? Tell me in the comments. If you're watching, tell me real quick so I can decide what color. Let's see. Is anyone watching to tell me whether I should do the orange or the tan? Okay. Deronda says brown. Susan says orange. Nancy says orange. Joe says orange. Nancy says orange. Jen says brown. Pat says brown. Glenda says orange. Oh my gosh, this is hard. What else? Orange. Paige says orange. Tammy says orange. Lori says orange. Darlene says brown. Jeff says, or Marianne, sorry, yours always messes me up. Marianne says orange. Rachel says orange. Cindy says orange. I think Sue says orange. I think orange it is. Karen says orange. So we're going to do the orange one, okay? And Julie says brown. But see, the beautiful thing about this is that you can, from season to season, or depending on what you have in the area, you can just take these off and switch them out for something different. And brown, Jen says she likes both. Nancy says tan. Karen says orange. Frances says orange. Okay, well, thank you guys for telling me. We're going to do orange because that's easy. So, but we need to figure out which side of the magnet is going to stick. Orange for the win. Yes, orange it is. However, if I change my mind, I can always put a magnet on the back of a brown one and put that on there later. Okay, so I think that's the way that it's going to work. So I'm actually going to not risk messing it up. I'm just going to put some glue on the back of this orange flower, and I'm going to stick it right on there. And then next up, we'll be stenciling. We'll be done with our flowers for the time being. And we'll be stenciling. Oh my gosh, these glue strings drive me crazy. So isn't that cute? What do you guys think? I think it's darling, and I love the idea of being able to switch it out. I am a reuser, repurposer, so I like to take something that I used a couple seasons ago and bring it back out to play the next season, and then put it away and then bring it out again in the future. So Okay, that's what we have. And now I'm just going to take a minute to take my stencil off. Darlings is adorable. Adorable. Yes, to me, so very cute. Oh, thank you, you guys. Okay, so we're gonna take this off. And this is one of those stencils from a maker studio that's so easy to work with. I think I'll take these flowers off while I'm doing this so I don't get the ink on it. And you're just, can you guys see? Here, this is better. We're just going to lay the stencil roughly in the center. But you know, I'm gonna push it down a little bit since I have those big flowers at the top. I want it to, I don't want those big flowers to obscure where the stencil is. Oh my word, I have glue strings all over. Hey Belinda. Hey Esther, how are you doing? Okay, so this stencil is a perfect example of a stencil that has been used and loved. Do you guys see how cruddy it looks? But it still works great. These stencils are reusable. All you need to do is make sure that you clean them promptly and then store them back on this little sheet in the little plastic envelopes that they come in. And this is what they look like brand new. And this is what they look like when they are loved. They're kind of like those Pampered Chef stone cookie sheets that the cruddier they looked, the better they worked, because that the use added, you know, better cooking properties or something. Okay, so I feel a lump under here. What is that? It's a piece of glue. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to apply some of this Peace and Joy, and I will drop links in the comments, and also I'll be glad to send you a personal message, anyone that wants one, for the stencils, the 2 stencils I used today and this, or anything else you can ask me as soon as I'm done. And as soon as I put this on and pull it off, then I'm going to say goodbye and let you guys go, so I can get to my sink and get my stencil washed out promptly. But I did want to tell you that I have some really cool projects coming up. And so if you haven't already liked or followed DiyDreaming yet, take a peek. If there's still a little thumb there, then that means that you haven't. So be sure to like and follow DiyDreaming so you don't miss any of the things that I have coming up. And we're going to be done with flowers for a little while, in case you're getting bored of that, which you probably are. And I have lots of great things coming up. So, and if you feel like sprinkling this to your social media, that's great too. So anyways, let's do it, and then we'll say goodbye, and I'll hop back on to answer questions and to give you guys links and anything else that you need. But stay till the end so you can see what this looks like. We'll put the flowers back on it, and you'll get the full effect. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. So if you weren't on with us at the very beginning or towards the beginning, one thing I said was that I feel like this stencil that says, "Bless the Lord, oh my soul," that it is, it could be used in almost any season. So if you were going to stencil a sign with this, I don't feel like you need to change it out all the time. I feel like this is great for spring, summer, winter, fall, Christmas, Easter, St. Patrick's Day, any 4th of July, anything that you have going on that you want to decorate for. Okay, do you guys see how easy that is so far? Not boring at all. Oh, you sprinkled, thank you. Awesome, I appreciate you guys. Okay, let's finish up here. The great thing about chalk art is that it's not permanent. So it's great for signs and things that you may want to change out at a future point. And I told you guys yesterday or the day before that my plans for this chalkboard are to use it for my son's wedding in May. So I'm going to make a stencil that has their name on it. And I'll just clean this one off with soap and water. find some new little flowery doodads that go with their colors for their wedding, and I'll make it into a sign for their wedding. So that's the great thing about using chalk art, that you can change it when you're ready to do something different. What is going on right here? And if you happen to go out of the lines a little bit with chalk art, you can usually just clean that up with a Q-tip and some water. Okay, I don't see any places that I missed that are important. Looks like I got everything. So I'm just going to take this excess and put it back in my pot and close my pot up good so it doesn't get dried out. And I'm going to pull this off, stick the little flowers back on, and then I will take pictures and let's see. Let me put the flowers back on before I do that. Oh, I hope it turns out good. Oh, it's super cute. Do you guys see? And I don't see any big spots that I messed up either, so yay. All right, that was our project. I hope that you liked it. Look for links and, pictures of this close up. Feel free to sprinkle, ask me any questions you have. And I just so appreciate you watching, and I hope that you will like and follow my page so that I can see you again for lots more fun projects. All right, have a great rest of your Monday afternoon.